So welcome back to our prayer, to our, and if we can, our normal Mass during the weekdays here. And as we hear the letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians, in how he is admonishing them to not to think that the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ is going to be just next week or next day, but rather there is a longer, and at the same time that we are to work out our salvation. So you see how he is trying to have a balance in our life. And we do the same thing with a prayer that we just had for the entire week, is that the church recognizes that there has to be a balance, that amid the uncertainties of life, this is how we move towards salvation. And so the church is very, very wise then in praying that as we hear the gospel, that we move gradually and moving forward, and that we not be taken up by other distractions, like, oh, it's going to be the end of the world tomorrow, and so on. That it's a lot more subtle than this. The Lord comes to judge the earth. Yes, the Lord comes to judge the earth. But you know what? We act like there is no judgment, as if no judge. And in the world, everything is, you got to do this, and all the concern about so many things, materialistic, and then we are forgetting the Lord comes to judge the earth. And we misinterpret it and say, it's coming tomorrow. No, not quite. And then the Lord asks us again in the gospel. Then he reminds us of the scribes and the Pharisees and the hypocrites, and how they treat life in a very awkward way of separating the internal from the external. And so it's something of what we do as Catholics is have a synthesis of both the law and the heart, the law and love. It is synthesizing the external and the eternal. And so again, the same message as we hear from St. Paul, that the Lord is letting us know to be consistent in our way of acting. Not just what we hear inside the church, but then when we're in the parking lot, we have changed our identity, no longer Christians. So that's why we are always striving to have that consistency of ethic, consistency of life. So we appeal to the Eucharist, so that will give us that kind of a consistency in our life by partaking of the body and blood of Christ.